Hello, Sheila.
Hello, Paul.
Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to have coffee with us.
You're welcome.
Hey, let's visit for a minute about trends. What my experience. Just get some feedback. Recently I had just gotten a short sale approval letter that I was working with Citi, and Fannie Mae was the investor, and they can't hide that fact from us anymore. We know who the investor is because, thank you to NAR and the Justice Department, we now have an escalation procedure for them, irrational values and stuff. And they just did such a horrible job that, the property went through foreclosure sale, and we were actually able to get that rescinded because we did meet Fannie's counter, and it just went on and on. So, it used to be when I started working with you that you knew what the procedure was for Countrywide or Chase or whoever, and that's the procedure. And you used to stack your documents, have everything ready to go, and send it in. And now you got to know what the Fannie Mae escalation procedure is. You got to know who the executive office is and how to contact them. It just seems like this trend is just getting slightly ridiculous.
You think it would have streamlined a little better than it has, and it hasn't. You got more levels to go through. Now, the good thing is you've got some escalations, so you can go directly to the investor. So that's helpful. That's helpful. But if you are a new agent deciding to get into the short sale business, probably not a good time to get in the short sale business on your own. You better make sure that you've got an expert, a short sale expert that understands who you contact when you run into these issues, with Fannie Mae or with the city mortgage, which was our problem. Due to the fact that they delayed this. I mean, they had the offer in their hands since November.
Yes.
And we thought we have more than enough time. This property's not scheduled for sale until, when was it? When was the
March.
Foreclosure sale date?
March.
End of March?
Yeah.
Okay, end of March.
Yeah.
That really is how many months? You got 4 or 5 months to make a decision. It really doesn't take 4 or 5 months to do a short sale, unless you're City Mortgage and unless you are Fannie Mae.
Right.
Now, they did have, CDPE just had an interview with Fannie Mae representative, whether it be, I think he was a vice president or whatever of short sales, and they're really saying that they're out there, they really want to do the short sale, as long as it makes good business sense. Now, what we're seeing, sometimes I don't see that good business sense. I see unrealistic counters, where a property, the market, the comps are reflecting this property is worth 170, and they're countering 230,000.
Do you really believe that the story I'm getting from the servicers is that Fannie Mae has been so successful with their REO property and their pricing that that's where they want to be on all their properties nationwide? Is that the truth? Or, I mean, why did it take NAR and the Justice Department to come up with something to sit down with Fannie Mae to say, hey, these values are not market values in our markets, and they came up with an escalation procedure so that you can escalate the fact that you don't think that's fair market value.
And sometimes it's going to come back and they're going to stay firm at that fair market value. You need to be careful about what you're comping your property to. Don't comp it to a foreclosure, because it's not a foreclosure.
Right.
They don't even want you to comp it to a short sale, which makes no sense to me, because that's what you got, is a short sale. But they want regular transactions, this property comp to, because they want to pull the highest price. And truly, they don't want to bring values down, which is good. But you can't ask for $50,000 over what the market's bearing. It just won't happen.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about what's on title is crucial to before you go through all the.
Yeah, let's say that you're an agent and you've got a short sale you want to handle, and it's going to be tight. you know, or maybe it's not going to be a short sale, that the homeowner worked out the second mortgage and it's a full payoff to the first. So
Sure,
let's move on to closing.
that happens.
It is so important that you don't waste your time or money or the seller's time or money. Get yourself a preliminary title commitment, preliminary title report, wherever this property is, California, New York, Colorado, wherever. Don't just get an O&E to see who owns the property and what kind of deeds of trust, because typically when you're doing a snapshot view of that property, it's not going to show you if there's a bankruptcy. It's not going to show you if there is a judgment against the property. This particular one that I got a phone call, I think it was yesterday or today, there were 3 judgments. You know, it was a full payoff to the first. He was able, homeowner was able to take care of the second, work that out however he did, but they were not anticipating 3 other judgments against that property that were huge. They're not just going to remove their lien for nothing. They're going to want something, and there's no money left over.
Wow.
So that's going to be, that really is not a that's not a sellable short sale unless you start kind of dwindling, working with those judgments. But these judgments were huge, huge. There was going to be money out of somebody's pocket.
Wow. So really, for you guys, the best practice still is you want to be able to interview the seller
Yes.
prior to engaging in
prior to taking that short sale. Yeah,
Yeah.
making sure it's a viable short sale. Also, I recommend to my agents, you know, you get that preliminary title work, not a snapshot. You want to know every requirement connected to that property that you're going to have to get through the hurdles in order to get this to the closing table to make sure it's a viable short sale. Because there could be a judgment there that the seller's not aware of.
Right.
This is one way to just start clearing up those issues before you put that property in the market. You want to make sure that you've got a marketable property that you can deliver free and clear title to that buyer. If you can't, you're not selling the property.
Nice. Yeah. Well, you know, I just got to say I'm really grateful to work in your office because, you know, the situation that I ran into on that short sale transaction, I've got, you know, you to say, hey, this is what's happening, or I've seen this before on one of your other files or Tom's files, or, you know, where you've gotten over the hurdle, you know, and I you know, sometimes I think about the new agent that wants to take on short sales. It's like, you know, when that goes to foreclosure, it's over, you know, but I had some recourse. And so, you know,
And you had some tools.
Yeah.
Some power that you could
so
go
I can't
to.
talk your company up high enough, you know, and I see that business is really picking up for you again. So thanks
Going
again.
into the summer months.
Yeah. Thanks again for meeting with us, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks. You guys have a great week. Bye.